If there's one Bible, why are there so many different churches and denominations? Why are we so fragmented? Aren't the Muslims unified? Aren't the Catholics unified?
Yeah, no, the Muslims are not unified. The Catholics are not unified. Anybody who says that doesn't know much about Muslims or Catholics. So no. But here's the thing. There's so many of us, and we're in so many different parts of the world, and we have so many different needs and so many points of emphasis. Just the size of the world explodes that myth. So if we're going to be in one church, where's it going to be? And how are we going to get there? Weekly, right? So is it whoever has the biggest airport hub, then we all just, so that in and of itself. And then when Jesus says, go take the gospel to pantata ethne, that means that we're having to go to different people groups. So we're going to different language groups and people, so yeah, we need churches. And also churches are local expressions, right? And because they're local expressions, there need to be many of them, millions and millions of them throughout the world. That's why we have so many churches. And some churches put the emphasis here, and some churches put the emphasis there, but we're not changing the gospel. Oftentimes, our differences come, to questions about how we govern ourselves and how we organize ourselves. And that just has to do with the fact that there's so many of us and we can't all be together. So we're going to have to be, in relation to one another somehow. How do we define that? Well, those things become a little bit more difficult to sort of nail down and be very specific about. And that's why you have a variety of different groups. But those groups are all Christian groups. So I'm not worried about there being a variety of different Christian groups. I'm not even worried about there being cults, to be honest with you, because Paul made this very clear even to Timothy in chapter 4. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with great patience and teaching. Why? Because the time is going to come when people will not endure sound doctrine, but instead they will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance with their own desires, and they'll turn aside from following the truth, and they'll turn to myths. And this is what's happening. That's where the cults come from. That's where the false teachers come from. That's where all this comes from. So far from that being evidence of a problem in Christianity, that's something that the New Testament told us was going to be part of our experience. And it is part of our experience. And it's just because, Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. What's more effective? To stand in front of people and tell a bald-faced lie, or to cover your lie in the skin of the truth? That's what's more effective. That's why there's the cults, so.